Hey guys, Crowbar's here with another episode of Pump Up My Tower, and today we're going over SurrealDemise's tower. And I've actually wanted to get over to his tower for a while. I wanted to give a thank you for a fan art that he did a while ago, or she. I actually have no idea if they're he or she. But yeah, so here's the fan art. Caricature was that I've been using for my artwork is based on Ushito Tora. It was an anime, and then one of the episodes, Tora, the yokai monster, the kind of the main yokai character, uh, transforms them into this character. And there's a slight scene that is just I thought was incredibly funny, and that's why I made that caricature picture on YouTube and Discord because I did it for the lulz. Um, so yeah, I think kind of the chaos of this picture I feel is applicable. I absolutely love the artwork. So finally, glad to kind of give a shout out to that and a thank you. But yeah, on to their tower. Let's see what they've got. I have no idea. I don't even know where they rank. I briefly saw and it was like, whoa, hey, we got Ultimate Weapon Plus stuff. Okay. Okay. So right off the bat, we got some juicy stuff. Um, yeah. Okay. I'm just taking this all in right now. Okay. And then, okay, so this is the bottom where we're gonna up, and yeah. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So we got a good bit here. Looks like they probably have Multiverse Nexus maybe at Ancestral. And maybe we're running let's see here. Let's check out their there we go. Okay, so we got the Golden Tower Death Wave cooldowns. Perfect. Spotlight Angle, Death Wave Quantity, that's perfect. Um Instead of Black Hole Size, let's re-roll these two. The Black Hole Size and the GT bonus until we can get GT Duration. GT Duration is going to give you a really nice boost here. So if you can get that in there, I think that's going to deliver a lot more value to you than Black Hole Size. And then, if you want to grab a Golden Tower bonus after that, that'd be good. But yeah, if you can pull off re-rolling these two slots, the top one and the bottom one, hopefully for that duration, that will be really, really helpful. Granted, I know that rolling on core modules is absolute misery, but yeah. Dimension core for tournaments, okay. Smart missile cooldown, that's perfect. Yeah, if you're able to roll Chrono Field speed reduction at Ancestral, that will be good. And then you've got Chain Lightning damage and Spotlight bonus. So Spotlight bonus isn't too bad. Taking a look at mine really fast. So good, good. I think Chain Lightning Chance is pretty solid because that also affects Chain Lightning Plus, which you don't have quite yet. But, you know, it's something that you could get. Yeah, speed reduction. And then I feel like I might be missing something in here. Hmm. Um. Yeah. Give me a sec. Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Um. So the other two, I'm thinking maybe Smart Missile Quantity. And some people have said that Inner Landmine Quantity is pretty solid too. Um. Yeah. Or you could do Spotlight Bonus. I totally forgot about that. Spotlight Bonus is good. Let's jump into some of these labs. Okay, so we got some more. I mean, you're almost done, I think, with reroll shards. No, that maxes out at 99 or something like that. I think it's something like that for daily shards. Let me see. All in all, you've got. So you're not at the 161 threshold yet, so maybe they're both good. Looks like you've got masteries here. Enemy balance, so you'll get more cells, you'll get more reroll shards from this one. I don't know if this affects the reroll shards that you get out of elites. So you might want to tackle both of those at the same time. Oh no, I'm assuming this is all you have? Uh, maybe you have some other stuff. Maybe you mention somewhere else that you have other masteries, maybe? Or maybe it's in the labs. I'll probably have to search through it for the labs. Yeah, the only thing I would pick out of here is maybe more perk bands if you need them. Sometimes that can make it a little bit easier just to narrow down what you want. Okay, looks like this is where we got the masteries. So you're working on recharge demon mode. You're probably done with it by the time that I get around to looking at this. Working around super tower mastery, which is awesome. Enemy balance, extra orb, cash. Whew, we've taken this farther than I have. I'm not quite there yet. um, extra defense mastery. Huh, that's interesting. Okay. Recovery package mastery is very, very powerful, and same with wave accelerator. The only downside is you get more enemies during tournaments as a result of that, but it's still nice. Um, yeah, I'm thinking as far as legend tournament goes, you're probably not gonna get a lot out of extra defense. Like if you're gonna get any use out of this, maybe it's for farming, but farming seems to be heading back into the glass cannon realm right now. But I'm assuming eventually it's going to, tilt back a little bit more back towards effective hit points. I think it's going to go back and forth for a little bit. So like right now, we're back into glass cannon, and maybe if we get more levels into fortitude, maybe it's going to swing back into effective hit points. We'll see. But recovery package mastery, very, very strong for leveling up your modules. Enemy balance is absolutely insane for getting more cells. And you get more coin as well with this. Extra orb, that's nice. Yeah. What do we have here? So actually today, I actually rolled substats on this one. I don't even have it at 5 stars like you do, but I did roll some substats, and I'm testing this out for farming runs. And what I did is I did do these two orb speed and orbs. Let me just look at what I pulled up here. I did Defy Death, Thorns damage, Wall rebuild, and then I went with Shockwave frequency. And that's probably not exactly what I needed to do. I might end up, I don't know. I might end up re-rolling some of these out, but I think you're really solid if you have orb speed, orbs, and I think defy death, and specifically for farming, and specifically for farming with Zerk mastery. I think that'll be helpful. Everything else, I think, right now is kind of in limbo on what may or may not be good. Shockwave frequency, is it landmine radius or chance? I really don't know quite yet, but there's some options out there. Yeah, if you can get an ancestral version of enemy attack level skip up here, that'll be really powerful. And then after that, I would probably roll like cash per kill. And anything after that, I think, is just pretty much fluff. I would say if they're for the last slot when you do unlock that. Oh, that's tough. Let me think. Okay, so you have access to be able to get some of these cards. Those are really nice. Oh, yeah. Especially with all the changes that are going on with masteries. These are really nice to be able to fill up. Looks like you got one of the cards here. Okay. Okay, looks like you've got 2 card slots. Obviously, for demon mode, I would grab this. Um, maybe if you just. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's worth getting this one quite yet, but it very much is worth it to get this one. And I'd look into the mastery for demon mode. And if you've got the minimal, like if you finish the lab for the recharge on it, then it's very, very powerful. Same with nuke, but nuke I would say is more for like maybe just tournament use. I might end up using it for farming eventually. I'm in this weird limbo myself. So I might end up using this, but I'll have to sacrifice some things like my health card, defense card, stuff along those lines. So getting the recharge for nuke down to a minimal value, and the nuke mastery, once you finish that out, is going to give you a lot more enemy attack speed reduction than you would get with a slow aura. And it costs less. So if I remember correctly, this just cuts down the enemy speed by half. And then, so that would be whatever their speed is, divide by 2. Versus slow aura, I think it's divided by 1.5. I could be wrong on that math, but it's something along those lines. So you're getting a little bit more cut in power, but there's a little bit of investiture that you have to make to be able to save on the stones. And yeah, you save on the stones and you get more power. Um, these are really nice because inevitably you'll probably step away from the game for a little bit, and at least like even if you're like super active all the time, as soon as one batch of gems pops up, means that the timer for that next set is already going. So as long as you see like 5 gem claim, um, that timer is already going for that next one. It's not paused like it is when you don't have this. So I would at very least try to get that to get a little bit more gems. I step away from the game a lot, and so eventually I'm working to hopefully get this, because that'll be nice. But it's a work in progress for me, and everyone's kind of limited right now on keys. But I think we'll get there relatively soon. I'm also working on the respec stuff, just to save in the future when or whenever I need to respec. I think that'll be useful. Um, for me personally, I'll probably respec just to kind of play around with different forms of Devo just to demonstrate. But for most players, that might not be the case, so you may or may not want this. Or if you just want to work your way up so that you can grab grab that so you have multiple slots. So you're like, okay, I want to do this type of farming with this Devo build, but for tournaments, I just want to go ham all in. Um, this is kind of nice. I don't really think we needed 5 slots, if I understand this correctly. Um, but I guess that's kind of nice to just quickly switch over. Let's see here. This is for tournaments. So attack speed's fine. Critical factor is great. Super crit chance, you want super crit multi. And as a priority. And then I would say super crit chance after that. Now, eventually, if you get Spotlight Plus, I would say damage per meter. The only downside is I think only enhancements work with the substats. Maybe things have changed since I tested it last, but it's like here's the initial bundle of calculations, and then the substat is a plus on top of that, and then after that everything is multiplied by the by enhancements. So you don't get like your lab values or relics that apply to the damage per meter. But if you've got Spotlight Plus eventually, that'll be nice. I don't use Pulsar Harvester myself, so I'm not going to comment on something that I don't have experience with. Usually I'm just always using G-Comp all the time. Yeah. And I think I'm going to turn my anti-cube portal pretty much into a glass cannon armor module. So I'll have obviously Shockwave. I'll probably have some other stuff. I probably orbs, orb speed, stuff along those lines. So I did pick up the extra orb mastery, which gives bonus coins, which is not shown here. And I've been converting to farming with that method, which is why I'm using this. It actually makes your orbs a little bit bigger. It doesn't say it in here, but like visually, I can see that my orbs are bigger as a result of using this. So that's kind of a side benefit. Yeah, take off. The attack speed is fine. Well, okay. So let's say you get this to 161. Let's go with super crit multi, super crit chance, critical chance, critical factor, multi shots, I think, and then we'll go with damage per meter. And this is specifically with farming. Yeah. And maybe it's ideal to apply that setup over with death penalty. Like I don't know 100% sure, but I think that's probably the ideal setup for at least this. At least for using for farming setups. I think I talked about this. Yeah. Bots, got this mixed? You're working on Ampbot? I really don't have much to comment here. Other than, if you can get the Yeah, you're already working on range a little bit, working on cooldown. I think the cooldown and the range are the most important. And then duration after that, because you want more of that consistency. Like with especially with any sort of damaging method, the more consistency the better. And then I would work on bonus intermittently as you bring up duration, just to kind of yeah, give the whole thing a little bit more value. Um, did I talk about all the labs? Talk about so amplify bot labs will be important eventually. I would say probably more so when you hit closer to the halfway point with amp up. Perks. Recharge a nuke can be good later on, but you've got so much as far as masteries to tackle. Um, yeah. But recovery package mastery gives you just so many. I don't remember if you were doing or if you had finished Shattered Shards yet. I don't know if you have like a favorite and have that up there. Deathwave Amp is pretty nice. Same with more Chain Lightning Amp for scatter enemies. This is actually really tremendously helpful. Not too worried about Chain Lightning Thunder after the nerf that I got, unless you have Chain Lightning Plus. And even then, everything's kind of going in the direction of Glass Cannon currently. So, yeah. Swamp Stun Time and Stun Chance would be good to finish out. As well as Inner Landmine Blast Radius. More stuns, the better. Swamp Radius, same thing. Give your Poison Swamp a little bit more value. You'll probably be done with this by the time I'm looking at this. You'll probably have this done at least to the point of, and you've got ×4 across the board. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm guessing you're probably saving up for Demon Mode Mastery, which will probably be, that'll be in here. Be done with this. You're making good cells? And I think this is tier 11. So maybe for your overnights, give tier 12 a shot. I think. Let's see, your wave. Maybe by the time you're actually reviewing this, given the damage that you're pumping up right now, T12 might be the spot where you need to go next. especially because like the real time for this is pretty long. Um, Hopefully T12 is close to like the 12-hour mark, and that'll make it so it's nice to be able to go like, oh, you go have an overnight run, you wake up in the morning, you queue up your next run for the day, and then at the end of the day you're done with that run and you just queue up the next. Um, it's really expensive, but eventually, if you're able to max out your wall funds, that's kind of nice. Obviously, we got some work to do here. Range is good enough for now. Super Crit Multi is really up there. I would also pump a little bit into Chance. And if you ever get Spotlight Plus, this will be nice. Nothing else is really jumping out at me. Right now, you're able to tackle quite a few um, masteries, it looks like. So I'd probably kind of do what you're doing already with that. Keep a Super Tower bonus rolling. If you can afford it, Super Tower Mastery. Um, and if you need something to kind of plug in wherever, maybe finish out Crit Factor. So I think with Ultimate Weapon Crit, and especially eventually with Ultimate Weapon um, Crit Mastery, you're getting quite a bit out of this. So I would probably pump up Critical Factor when you've got the free time. Or just, you can't afford any of the other masteries. I would just slide it in there and go. Other than that, so for like landmine stuns, maybe you could get some extra value with this. But there's a lot of other things, like the raw damage that's really good, critical factor, uh, the super crit chance. And then as far as what I would do with ultimate weapons, probably finish out quantity and chance. For chain lightning. I mean, this just absolutely destroys armor units. Super, super nice. And you'll need the chance anyway when it comes to smite or chain lightning plus. Probably a little bit more damage would be nice here. Chrono Loop, you've got that. Chrono Loop is incredibly powerful, so that's worthwhile as well. And you're pretty far into that, if I'm reading this correctly. Let me look at my own. Yep. Wrong. So I think you're level 4 or 5 with this. Still, really, really good. Really good. You get a little bit of you start to see a little bit in farming runs, but once you get close to maxing it out, that's when you really start to feel the effect of Chrono Loop. So it's kind of one of those gradual becomes more significant as you get closer to max. Obviously, more duration is going to feed into GT Plus, so that's always a solid option. If you want to work on like more econ side of things. And then yeah, eventually more angle, more a little bit more spotlight bonus. Spotlight plus is good to eventually get, I think. But yeah, I think right now how the meta stands, I would say GT plus is the most important. Followed by Chrono Loop, followed by Smite and Spotlight Plus. And then if you just had a ton of money, Death Grip. But right now, for your Poison Swamp, you've got a lot as far as chance that you need to raise up, as well as duration. And I would shoot for like 12 seconds on the minimal on this one. That way, if you get the minus 10-second duration, at least you get 2 seconds of activation. And obviously, more is better after that point. But I would probably try to shoot for that as like the low hanging fruit part. Yeah. But chances are, right now, you're probably going to be dumping in masteries. They're extremely important. Um, they're extremely powerful. And part of me is kind of like, well, what's the best route to go with these? And part of me is like, well, you could unlock it, but you only get like a really small bonus. And I think you already got like some of the major ones, except for maybe Demon Mode. I don't know if you. I don't remember seeing if you had that one, so that one would be good. But other than that, as you finish up some of these labs, you probably want to get coin as well, and kind of work on that so you can afford the rest of the masteries and get those done as soon as possible. Um, and then orb coin as well. So let's check out. You're not making the coins is not bad. Like it's pretty decent. But as far as getting that improved, you could try minimizing range a little bit. Like given everything that I'm seeing, maybe you're just going full free ups. Yeah. Huh. Okay. So maybe you're doing black hole digester farming? No, you're not. So you might want free up mastery. And I say free up mastery, and you don't need a lot in free up mastery actually to make it actually useful. What I would probably limit is the attack range. I would limit let's see. I wouldn't go with that much shockwave thighs, but maybe that's the right amount for where you're at. You could also just like ban out landmine damage, so you're just focused on the stuns, or use the locking so it doesn't give you free ups to that. And then I would say lock out the free ups to enemy attack level skips. So if you're doing like glass cannon kind of farming, you're gonna want to basically dump all of your free ups and get this up as quickly as possible for the enemy health level skips. So you're looking at maybe like 3-4 bands, something along those lines. And then yeah, you could do the G comp multiverse nexus combo. That I kind of already talked about. You could try Black Hole Digester with the free ups or the free up mastery. Sometimes that can be really nice. Some people are getting great results with that. I mean, you've got a great coin pause, so you could try Singularity Harness. You've got a lot of things that you could try out, see if they would work out best for you. But yeah, overall, this isn't too bad. Nothing just blaringly like, oh, this is horrible. Other than like your Poison Swamp is a little bit on the weaker side. And same with your Chain Lightning. I think getting that up will be helpful as well. Anyway, I think that's all that I've got for you. Hopefully that helps, and I will catch you later.